Pronounced, defined, used in lexical dispatch.
Promulgated. Verb. Promulgator. Promulgation. Promulgating. Promulgated. Verb. Past tense or participle. Officially proclaimed, announced, or put into effect. For example, a law, doctrine, or idea. Of laws or policies. Formally enacted or made public. For example, the decree was promulgated last year. Of ideas. Widely disseminated. For example, his theories were promulgated in academic circles. Formal. Published or declared openly. For example, the findings were promulgated in a renowned journal. The new tax laws were promulgated by the federal government last month. The scientific theory was widely promulgated through academic journals and conferences. The king promulgated an edict that changed the kingdom's succession rules. Environmental regulations promulgated in the 1970s significantly reduced pollution levels. The manifesto promulgated by the political party outlined their core principles. The agency is currently promulgating stricter safety standards for the industry. Promulgating false information during a crisis can have dangerous consequences. The organization is dedicated to promulgating awareness about climate change. His method of promulgating his religious views often caused controversy. The committee focused on promulgating ethical guidelines for researchers. The promulgation of the new policy led to widespread public debate. Legal scholars studied the promulgation of the Constitution in historical context. The promulgation of these findings revolutionized the field of medicine. Delays in the promulgation of the regulations frustrated industry leaders. The promulgation of the decree was met with both support and opposition. As the chief promulgator of these ideas, he faced significant criticism. The government official acted as the primary promulgator of the new reforms. Religious leaders often serve as promulgators of moral teachings. She was recognized as a leading promulgator of feminist literature. The journal positioned itself as a promulgator of innovative scientific research. Key tips for test takers: TOEFL, SAT, GRE, GMAT. 1. Usage and importance. Promulgated frequently appears in context involving laws, policies, doctrines, or widely disseminated ideas, for example, government, academia, religion. Focus on whether the term refers to official enactment, laws, versus active dissemination, ideas. Noun forms, promulgation, promulgator, are less common but test-worthy, especially in GRE or GMAT reading passages. 2. Likely question formats, synonym selection. Promulgated versus enacted versus proclaimed versus disseminated. Note: enacted is more specific to laws. Disseminated applies to ideas. promulgation versus declaration versus publication, GRE or GMAT. Analogies. Promulgator is to doctrine versus legislator is to law, agent versus created thing. Promulgation is to announcement versus ratification is to approval, process versus result. Sentence completion. The controversial policy recently blank by the council sparked immediate protests. Answer: promulgated. 3. Common confusables. Propagated, spread widely, often ideas or plans, versus promulgated, more formal or official. Proclaimed, declared publicly, versus promulgated, implies systematic dissemination. Articulated, expressed clearly, unrelated but sometimes confused. 4. Relevant idioms or phrases. Promulgated into law, SAT or GRE reading passages. Widely promulgated, GMAT sentence correction. 5. Test-taking strategies. In synonym questions, eliminate words that lack official or public connotations. For example, whispered, suggested. For analogies, determine if the relationship involves authority, communication, or enactment. In reading passages, note whether promulgated refers to legal actions or ideological spread.